What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at Farlanders, which has just released a prologue. This is a magnificently well-animated game. I really like the art style. It super takes me back to the 90s, to kind of the RTS days of things like Dune and things like Command & Conquer Red Alert. I really like the art style of this game. And so anyways, the point of this game is that it's actually it's a colony builder, it's a city builder, it's a terraformer. At the same time, every single map is kind of like a puzzle. You're trying to take every map and turn it into serviceable space upon which you can build a base that fulfills certain criteria. The game also has a narrative. It has a really cool art style. So I figured we'd dive on in and try it on out here today. So if after watching this you wanted to check out Farlanders, you can do that at the link that I've got for you down below. The game is on Kickstarter right now, so you can go check that out and see if you wanted to back the game or not. I don't normally cover Kickstarter projects, but this one's pretty good. I like it. It's pretty enjoyable just with what they've shown so far, and I haven't had any bugs or problems, so there we are. Also down below, next to the link, you can find my Discord, and you can find my Twitter and my Twitch stream, which are also super fun places. So let's spend about 25-30 minutes with this and see if it's something that kind of piques your interest or gets your jimmies all nice and pleasantly ruffled. We can go with Chapter 1 for right now. Year 2046. Over 10 years have passed since the first manned mission to Mars. It was accomplished thanks to the combined efforts of national space agencies and private companies. We received our first colony on the red planet, Mars Hub. But we're still a long way from having a self-sufficient settlement on Mars. The process should be sped up by private companies and investments. Gardart is going to create the very first private colony on Mars. Our years of experience in agricultural technology have allowed us to develop a next-generation solution for the colony. Forget the bare Mars Hub environment you've seen before. In our colonies, you'll be able to go for a stroll and breathe the fresh air at a real park. In addition, we've developed technology that will allow us to terraform the red planet into an Earth-like environment. And that's not all. We've got news for you. Hi, I'm Nicole, and I manage the Mars program at Gardart. Before we fly to Mars, we plan to launch a few test colonies on Earth. Our goal is to make sure our residential modules are ready for the harsh Martian environment and assemble a team for our first real settlement. And by the way, you can help us with that last part. We're going to live stream the final phase of the Earth's test colony. It'll be a reality show, but with a scientific goal, and you can watch it all just by subscribing. You can do your part right now by making a one-time contribution of $199.99. I need your support to colonize Mars. Great work, Philippe. You and the rest of the marketing team knocked it out of the park. You've got the makings of an actor. Well, it only took me 100 takes to get the hang of it. By the way, I like the new haircut. Looks great. Thank you. Since you need to start preparing the first test right away, I won't keep you. Yeah, let's get on to the gameplay. Very sorry, but I need to get going. No problem. Mikole will get in touch and fill you in on the details. Good luck. Alright, so how's the connection? As you can see, we've made your objective a little simpler and built your starting base on the fly. Next turn, our first batch of colonists are going to arrive. Before we can receive them, we'll need to build a living space. But first, don't forget to install solar panels to connect them to the base. Remember that solar panels require sunlight, so don't build them in the shade of the cliffs. Don't worry, a misplaced building can always be demolished. Alright, so this game is like well, it is actually. It's fully turn-based. So really at the top of the screen, you can see the different stuff that we have. We have our food production up here, the amount of food we have versus how much we can store. We have our water, the production on the right. We have our materials right here, which is how much we're producing on the right, plus how much we have, and then our electricity. We have our victory goals. On this side, we have the different overlays that we can play around with right here, just in case you want to. Our construction panels in the bottom left. We've got ending our turn on this side. And then up here, you want to pay attention to this because it's kind of important. This is how long we have until we get new colonists. And then over here, this is how long before we get a terraforming option, which is going to allow us to take the landscape and manipulate it into something that's going to be a little bit more manageable. Options included in terraforming are actually really important. And this is kind of, the game doesn't make it apparent, but this is actually like a core gameplay mechanic of the game, is properly managing all of your terraforming resources in order to turn really kind of a barren, crappy place into something usable. And so anyways, first things first, we need to get some solar panels up and running. I would say that 3 solar panels up here in kind of like this barren strait, decent idea. We need to run some power lines back to the base, so we'll do that. There's our power line, so that's now been connected. We need to build some houses for our colonists. I'll probably keep the houses over here in kind of this barren land that I can't really do anything else with. So we'll go with like... We're going to need to run tunnels from these as well in order to make this like fully function. So we'll go with that right there and that right there. The game does have clumping, so buildings of a similar type should always be built adjacent to each other because they get bonuses. You'll notice here that this is getting a bonus from the neighboring solar panels, so it's producing 4 instead of 3. Likewise, the houses get bonuses by being close too. The other thing we're going to need to do is we need to have tunnels. So we're going to take a tunnel over here, and I think we'll just run the tunnel over and back to our base. Perfect. Now we need water pipes. As you can see, we have fertile land and water up here. Unfortunately, we're going to have to exploit that right out the front of the gate. Bam. There it is. And so as you can see, all of our farmland is now officially gone. But like, que sera, sera, that's life. We also need to run water pipes all over the place. And so we'll take these water pipes and we'll just run them down to here for right now. Oh, the water pipes need to go to the base too. Okay. There we go. It's all set up and our circuit is concluded. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that most of our structures, including solar panels and residential buildings, work better if you put them close together. So there you go. That's the piece of information that I already gave you, but that's that. Our ultimate goal for this mission is to make 5 greenhouses. We're going to need to squeeze those in wherever we can. We have a good source of water right here. I think if we dig this down, we can turn this into our little area to get that all done. But for right now... might be a little difficult. We'll keep an eye on it. We've produced 12 materials right there. Our colonists are going to show up, so there they are. We get a fun little cutscene, and then we could take all 10 of them. No problem. That is going to lower our food production, though, so keep that in mind. Now that you've got residents, we're going to need to oversee some mining and mineral processing. Unfortunately, there aren't any minerals in this patch of land, but I've taken care of it. I'll send you a terraforming set, including a mineral source. Select the set that fits best into the current landscape and go ahead and use it. Then put the minerals in the area that I designated. Okay, so we've got this little mineral area right here. I think that's actually probably the most advantageous. We are going to need to run, like, pipes around, though. So, unfortunately, actually, we can get it right here, and that'll make life super easy. Oh, it wants me to put it right here. Gotcha. So we have to put it in a prescribed location. That's kind of a bummer because that's not going to work out any way that we slice this. We could bulldoze one of the houses and then we could get it in right there. But we'll demolish you. Put you right there. And then we can fit you right there. Perfect. My desk just shook a little. Now build the factory connected to the colony. Will do, sir. Now, we don't have the resources to make the building right here that we need to build. Unfortunately, it's going to require us to have 52 of our resources, so that's kind of a bummer. We're also going to need a little bit more power, I think. And so I think if we move this over to here, that'll bump up our power ever so slightly, although this has blocked off this entire quadrant. We may have to do some kind of fiddling a little bit later on. Let's wait for the resources to come on in. We've got a new terraforming object, so we've got some TNT right here. It's TNT. It's dynamite. If we blow this up right here, yeah, I think that's a great option. So dynamite on ice will create a lake. Dynamite on these rock faces right here will create wasteland. And then we use a shovel on wasteland, and it'll turn it into hard ground. If hard ground is adjacent to water, it turns into fertile soil. In case you are wondering, kind of like the flow chart of how this all functions. That terraform, I think, actually worked out for us really, really well because it secured us a hard-to-come-by source of water, which I think is really, really good. We don't have the resources for the factory just yet. We've got another turn or two until we get some more colonists. So we'll probably bypass the next batch of colonists. We only have 2 slots available. But let's get this up and running. So we'll put the factory right there. It's going to cost us 52 resources. We don't have the resources available to run the tunnels to this that we're going to need to run to it. So it's just going to kind of have to exist in its own state. Yeah, we'll continue right there. I don't have the resources to build houses or anything. We'll say that we're not ready. Over here, we have fire, it looks like. I don't think that I've seen fire. So apparently fire reverts hard soil into sandy soil. I don't know why we would want to do that. We've got a really, really nice diggy tile right here. I like that. So diggy tiling all of this on this side would get rid of all of these mountains. And then diggy tiling this right here would get rid of those. I don't know what I want to get rid of. Both of those have their merits, I think. Actually, I think I messed that up. It doesn't get rid of these. So what'll happen is the diggy tiles, I think, get rid of sand and turn it into hard ground. So I wasted my terraform right there, which is really like one of those things you really want to avoid doing. But such is life, I guess. Sometimes we make mistakes. At least we're bringing in new resources now. So we've got 36 per turn coming in. Nice work. New terraforming sets with various functions will arrive from time to time. For example, you can use explosives to melt out ice or level out mountains. You can use soil cleaners or shovels for short to prepare the soil for construction or growing crops. If you get confused about the terminology, just take a look at the documentation that we've sent over. Now you need to see to a water supply. Use the existing water sources or create a new one by using water terraforming, or yeah, that's what we're going to do right down here. So we have a water source. I think you've probably noticed that fertile soil shows up around open water sources. That's where you're going to grow your crops at. A water pump will block off the water source, so make sure you use the fertile soil around it. Build 5 greenhouses. All right, let's get to it. With the 5 greenhouses, I don't have the resources for the greenhouses for right now, so we're going to bypass a turn real fast. We're not negative on food yet, though, which is a really, really good thing. I'm actually probably going to double pass right here just to get a nice little clump of resources stored up. All right, so we have a number of water creation tools here. We can either create a water source that is next to a water source, if we wanted to. We can create a water source that is a certain distance away from a mountain, which is an interesting idea, I think. We'll have to do some serious terraforming in some of these areas, but it's not the worst idea. Or we can create just a free-floating water source. I do like the plan of a free-floating water source over here somewhere. But we really got to find, like, the right spot for it, I think. I'll put it right there for right now. We need to dynamite that before it turns into actual water. But I also need to shovel some stuff, so it's not really that big of a deal. We're going to bypass on colonists on the next batch because I don't want to be negative on food. With the greenhouses, I need more workers. Actually, I think we're going to have to take people in. Don't want to, but I have to. All right. Well, where can I fit in some more goodies? That right there is already pre-attached to the grid, so that's an easy option. That one's already pre-attached to the grid, so that's an easy option. That gave us 2 more spaces, so we can take the next batch of colonists if we need to, and we do. So we're running out of power, which is kind of a bummer. We'll take all 10. That is going to put us very, very negative on food, though. So we've got 7 food per each one of these that comes on out. We put that right there, and I think it's already got all of the things it needs to attach. So it'll actually fill in the tunnel right there, and the grid will be taken care of as well. What I really need to do is I need to get this mountain out of the way. That's what I severely need to do, is the mountain needs to go. I can convert this all into normal soil over here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll turn that into hard earth right there for whenever we can dynamite that. We've got enough workers. So I need these mountains to go so that I can run the pipes and actually make use of all this land right here. Otherwise, wherever we place things, the best we'll be able to do is like 2 more greenhouses down here, I think. So like technically I can put a greenhouse in right there, but we actually have a power deficit at the moment. So I do think more power is a smart plan. There we go. That evened us out. Next turn, we're only losing a little tiny bit of food, so we still have some variability in our tactics right now with what we can do. I think I'm kind of wondering, so like if I put a greenhouse right here, will it get all of the things that it needs? It looks like it will. So we've got 2 of our greenhouses up for right now. I'm kind of wondering if it'll autofill for these too. I bet you it will. Might definitely be worth looking into. We've got colonists coming soon. So having a couple places built for them to move into is going to be a good idea. I don't have any tunnels run to this side just yet, though. And I haven't had an opportunity to terraform what I want to terraform. We can pretty easily put that right there and that right there. Terraform is up, and it's TNT. TNT is good. I like TNT. TNT helps me out. If I rotate that, we really want to avoid making pits if we can. There's a pit on that side if I blow that up, which kind of sucks. I'm not in love with it, but if we can get some shovels, we can clear out all this wasteland. And then if I can get another TNT, I can blow a hole in this. I don't like that we have a canyon. Be careful when you're playing this about where your canyons end up. They can royally just destroy the booty of your base. Alright, new colonists. We'll take all 10. Water is a little bit suspect for right now. But... oh, the greenhouse can't be in the shadow. Interesting. Okay. Well, we're going to need a tunnel right there. And we're going to need to attach to the grid right there. And we're also going to need to run a water pipe to right there. So yeah, I think we can like finish this off right now, actually. I think we can get done with this actual project if I just go for it. Actually, no, I can't. I don't have enough workers. Okay, but we can actually finish this before we run out of resources, which I think is fine. As long as we get a dynamite on the next turn, I won't be that mad about it either, because we can open up a new water source on this side. We did indeed get a dynamite. So, dynamite away. We're going to fix the water grid real fast. We'll put that guy in right there. It's already hooked up via everything, actually. Nice. This one already had the infrastructure in place, so that was kind of an easy modification. How much room do I have left? I can take 5 colonists the next time around. It'll be fine. Power is looking a little rough, actually. There we go. We can even that out. That's not that difficult. I'd rather not use any of my equitable space if I can help it, but that'll do for right now. Yeah, bring in the new colonists. We'll only take like half of them. But they are welcome to live here as long as they don't, like, fart the place up. Alright, and so now we should be able to get a final greenhouse going to right there, and we have achieved victory. So, can we consider our first mission a success? The terraforming works. We've managed to create a source of minerals and water without affecting the environment. Although we can't be 100% certain everything's going to go according to plan under real Martian conditions. If that's the case, we're able to move on to the next phase. This is the time to announce the beginning of our reality show and our marketing push. We got a problem with the parks. It seems like the normal greenhouse conditions aren't going to be enough to get plants in our parks. Why not? We tried to grow the plants for the parks in the same greenhouses we used for potatoes, but it wasn't successful. I think we're going to have to design a park dome more carefully with additional irrigation and lighting systems. On a related note, we'll also have to delay the second test colony since we don't have time to test the parks before the live stream starts. Delaying the live stream seems kind of risky. We need time to prepare the team and equipment we need for the flight to Mars. We can't delay the takeoff because we know that the best time for a flight to Mars happens every 2 years. If we miss the next window, the entire mission is set back. We need to get a solution. I need to think this problem through carefully. Let's circle back to this later. Do we have any questions about the second test? Let's begin. Alright, so you ready for work? As you can see, this time the starting base hasn't been built yet, so based on your previous experience, consider where you want to start the colony. If you ask me, I recommend starting nearby mineral deposits. Okay. Let's go with, what are these? Slot is empty. Slot is empty. Are those like mod slots or something? All right. Well, we've got our base over here. I do like the idea of being over kind of like right here, but I don't love the idea of those pits right there, and I don't think we have a whole lot of ways to fill those in. So I say we go for right here. Just keep it nice and tight. There you go. Our starting base is ready to rock. We need electricity, so we've got a new energy source. In addition to solar panels, you'll have wind turbines. Windmills are very effective if you put them next to a mountainous area, so go ahead and give that a try. All right, so you want windmills next to mountains. Gotcha. There's a windmill next to a mountain. We got to run the power line over to here. There we go. And that's apparently giving us 5 electricity, so they weren't lying. If you can get those into the sweet spot, they definitely give you a little bit of that extra sizzle juice, dude. All right, so we've got batteries over here, too. We got to get 100 population by turn 35. Whew. Okay, we're going to be moving then. We get colonists on the next turn. I do want to be careful about the way that I develop all this out here. There doesn't seem to be any better sweet spots for windmills just yet. And I can put one right there, but I don't think I can run wires through any of this stuff, so I think we might just have to go for like a single banger. Is the windmill cheaper? It costs 16. That costs, it is not cheaper. Okay. Well, we've got a bunch of bad land over here. So I kind of feel like a couple of power. Like, I feel like that's okay. We need to have space for new colonists. So we'll plop in 2 of those right there. We also need a factory so that we can pull in materials faster. But we don't have the workers for it just yet. So I think we're going to have to wait it out. We've got the basics taken care of. I mean, I think getting the water grid going is a good idea. This one seems like much better land for farming, so I'm thinking we consume this one down here because this is surrounded by sand, so I got to get shovels and I got to do all that stuff. Chances are it's not going to come up the way we need it to, and so I feel like using this one right here for water is our best laid plan. Let's also get the power lines run out to there. Very, very nice. So this is all functioning. We have a surplus on all fronts. I'm going to save our... Oh, we need one more windmill. Okay. I'll put our guy right there then. You may also notice that in addition to windmills, new warehouses appeared for resources. They might come in handy when we get bigger. Okay. Let's wait it out. So we fully generated all the power that we need. We can take all 10 colonists, so that's no biggie and no harm and no foul. I forgot to tell you during our meeting, we've perfected terraforming technology. Now you have access to 2 slots to store terraforming sets in case you have nowhere to put them. Okay. Oh, so we can save it for later. Gotcha. So what does this do? It builds 2, so it looks like it builds 2 mountains, it dynamites 2 mountains, and it adds a water source. Okay. Oh, a mountain will replace a pit, too. Very interesting. I think that's probably our best play for right now. I don't, like, adore it, but, like, it's something. And if we get rid of some of these canyons, I'd feel better about all this. Like, I dislike how many canyons we have around. That might not actually be the worst idea. It's a waste of the TNT, but it does fill in that little gap, and it gives us another water supply. I'm going to go for it. We'll see if we can dynamite that later to keep this cleared out, and then if we can get some mountain builders to make this all nice and flat, I think that sounds like a really good plan, too. So with the resources we have available, not much we can do, actually. I need to get the factory up and running, but that's going to be another turn, so we'll just wait it out. All right, so we've got a new terraformer. We've got shovels, and then that turns things into badlands. Okay. So it'll let us even out. Yeah, that'll let us even out some sand, should we desire to do so. It'll also kind of kill our water source. Yeah, we can go for that right there just to get that fertile up. I need to get rid of that mountain, but oh well. I do like how thoughtful this game is, though. That's one thing that I'm kind of appreciating about the core gameplay loop, is that it's a very thoughtful game. Like, it's a game where you kind of got to think about what you want to do with the layout, and I think it adds an extra layer that's somewhat lacking in other games. I think, like, the turn-based nature of the game helps out with that, too. Okay. So we've got room for 2 greenhouses over here. The question becomes, do we want to do the greenhouses first, or do we want to do the houses first? I still need to fix a lot of this terrain over here. That needs a water pipe run to it. Okay. Enjoy your water pipe. I've installed it. Alright, so the water pipe is installed. The good news is if I put 2 more houses down here with all the wiring and everything, we can just plop 2 greenhouses down right there, and that'll give us our first batch of food, I think. Yeah. What turn are we on? We're on turn 4. Okay, I'm trying to pay attention to, like... I don't have any resources to really build anything else, so I think we're kind of... We are where we are. New colonists are here. We'll take 5. We have enough resources now to do another house right there and another house right there. So we are future-proofed on colonist space for a while. We have a triple dynamite right here. Don't you just love it? We also have this. Like, actually, both of these were something that we were looking for. We were trying to clear this out to turn it into equitable farming space. The other option is we could get that right there. Or we could fix that right there. Let's fix this first. This gives us direct access to food, so I feel like that's probably the play. We're losing a little bit of food per turn right now, but that's alright. A few more resources. Give me a greenhouse here. That'll fix our food for a minute. We lost a power, so I'm going to need to spend some of our 69 giggity resources on that. We've got a triple shovel right here, which actually fits perfectly. Yeah. One more shovel in this little area right here, and we will have fixed all this farmland. It'll be looking good. We can run all the pipes, and we can run all the wires around the backside right here. And then we can just have like 4 greenhouses over here. I think that'll be great. We just need more shovels. That's pretty much it. So for our power situation, I think we actually have a really good spot for a windmill right there. So that goes back to the central base. That'll hold us for a little while. It's not a perfect solution that is like unending, but it's an okay solution. We also have what we need for... No, we don't. We need more workers. Okay. So if we need more workers, I do think that seems like an okay spot to put a building. So I'm going to do it right now while I've got the resources. Food is almost back up on full. We're going to bring in all 10 of these colonists right here, just to keep our population moving on up. We're at 25 right now, and we can take the next batch, so that's really, really good. We should be able to even out our food losses over here with a greenhouse on this side. I'd like to get a shovel over here and like start fixing this too, but that's life. I don't think that we have much to play around with. We got that same triple shovel again. Love it. All right, so that secures our food resource for a little while. We'll run all the piping up to this spot right here, and then we'll go 4 greenhouses all adjacent to each other on that side. Yep, and if we can get another one of those shovels, we can turn this into buildable land. So, like, we're not in bad shape right now. Not at all. I think we're actually in quite good shape. Can I run water pipes across these? I can run water pipes across those. The only thing that I can't run across those is I can't run tunnels across these for people to move in between the habs. So yeah, I think we're looking good right now. We've got enough for the next batch of colonists. Everything is positive excluding food. So maybe what we'll do is we'll preemptively start running some of this over to here with the resources we have available. That's the wrong terrain. Okay, so we need to terraform that first. But there you go. The piping is already running out here, so we can wait it off till the next turn. We have a few extra workers. So I think... why not make a food storage? Yeah, food storage right there sounds good to me. And that leaves us with enough left for... oh, the greenhouse is in the shadow. Pfft, don't love that. Gonna need some dynamite to clear that out. Okay, good to know. If I can get a dynamite right here, though, that'll secure our food supply on that side, too. I really need, like, a triple shovel over here. I'm gonna wait. We're not, like, maxed out on resources, so we can kind of wait and see what we get for a terraforming here. So we've got a pit with 2 shovels. We've got fire. We've got 3 shovels and a burn. That'll make water right there. Honestly, I think that's the best of both worlds. Like, I need a dynamite, but if I can get rid of that mountain, we're already rigged up on this side to do the greenhouses over here. So why stress about it, I guess? We're a little bit low on power. Do I have any solid windmill spots around here? Got an okay windmill spot right there. I'm going to go ahead and do it. And then we can put the rest. We can put a couple solar panels down here, I think. Like, especially if we have any dead area around here. I could put in, like, a battery. Yeah, we can put the battery in the shade right there. Okay, bring in 10 more workers. We're going to have problems with water. And we're going to have problems with other stuff. For the time, I think actually... so we've got 4 farmable spots down here. I've got to decide on one of these water sources to cap and turn into a pump. Since we've already built on this one, I think we turn this into a pump. Until we get a dynamite, this is inaccessible. So, like, that's my thought. And we don't know when a dynamite's going to come up, whereas we can use this land right now. And it's like no biggie. So I think I'm just going to... we'll forestall all the plans that we previously had. We'll put a cap on that right there. And then we will run power, obviously, over here. I don't have a lot of resources left. But I do have enough for a water pipe. So that's now functioning. We've got enough water for 40 more colonists, basically. Or, I'm sorry, 20 more colonists. And then food. We're going to have to deal with food on the next turn, but we're kind of like out of here anyways. My name is Splattercat. This is Farlanders. I hope you guys liked it. I really, really like the idea of this game. I like the art. I like the style. I like the aesthetic. I think they've done a really, really good job making sure that the game has kind of a unified visual presentation. I've had no bugs, no issues. You can see a tremendous amount of thoughtfulness inside the mechanics that currently exist already. And if they can keep layering extra like thoughtfulness and basically interactions on top of that between all the various terraforming methods and the way that the buildings interact with different land tiles, I think they're onto something. So anyways, I'll see y'all later. Thanks for hanging on out. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.